wanted to take a closer look at how we move through our vinyasa practice, and particularly the sun salutations and the breath in the sun salutations. So in almost any vinyasa class, you're going to get some form of salutations. And because it's such an integral part of our practice, we of course want to be doing it correctly, we want to be doing it smoothly, but often we don't get the opportunity to really break down and study the breath. Right? So first we'll look at sun salutation A's. And in sun salutation A's, we're really establishing the breath like a heartbeat, like a metronome, a constant, a steady inhale and exhale. They're in balance in our sun salutation A's. And that's important because frankly, we aren't really breathing well throughout the day. Most of us are breathing with a pretty shallow breath in the upper chest and in the upper respiratory muscles. And that's not the most efficient breath. It's a stressed way of breathing. We breathe that way because we're stressed, and we stay stressed because we're breathing that way. So we're going to break that cycle by the time we've warmed up when we get to our sun salutation A's. Right? So we want this steadiness of breath. And the way that you move with your breath is really like surfing waves. You can go with the wave, or you can go against the wave. You're probably not going to change the wave, but your experience is going to be one of ease and flow, or one of resistance and struggle. And that's all up to you and how you breathe. So let's take a look at that. Right? We come up to the front of the mat. We usually start in a Tadasana or Samastiti, and we'll inhale as we reach up, and then we exhale as we fold. We'll inhale to get a long spine, and we'll exhale to step back to down dog. Inhale to high plank, and exhale as we lower. Inhale, lifting our heart, whether it's cobra or upward dog, and then exhaling to press back to down dog. We'll take a few breaths usually before the next round. So a couple things I want to point out in that. One place where people often don't breathe or don't breathe as well is in that high to low plank. And that's one of the most important places to execute a really strong, a really full exhale. I want you to think of the power of like a piston when it releases, right? And that's the kind of power you want as you're lowering down. And anatomically speaking, when we exhale, the diaphragm muscle moves up. Right? And when the diaphragm muscle moves up, then we can draw the abdominal cavity back. We can draw all of the muscularity of the core to the spine. And that's the kind of support we want when we go down to low plank. So often I notice people aren't really breathing on their way to low plank, or it's a quick breath, and they don't want to stay in low plank very long, and I get it, but they're moving right up to up dog. I want you to take that full breath and roar it out as you exhale from high plank to low plank. Be able to pause there a moment, because that's where the growth is at the bottom of low plank. And then follow your inhale up, right? So we're not rushing, we're not quick there. Another thing we'll see sometimes is people jumping back to low plank or even to high plank, which is not really suggested for how you land on the joints of the arms and the shoulders. If you're going to jump back, you do want to land in low plank, just the way if you jumped up on your legs, you'd always land on bent knees. You'd never land on straight legs. But anyways, there is that. You could certainly go to that flat back and jump back to low plank. But I think it's helpful in the sun salutations. Often I give the invitation to jump back in sun salutation B's. I think it's helpful to step back to down dog in our first sun salutation A's, and then inhale to high plank and exhale to low plank for two reasons. It gives us that opportunity to find the balanced and steady breath a little better, a little easier. And unless you're an expert at bracing your core, it's helpful to have the time to exhale to down dog, to inhale to high plank, to find that support at the core, and to exhale as you lower into low plank. It's quite an ask to go from how we might have been moving or not moving through the rest of our day. Say we were sitting in an office chair all day long, or maybe we were driving in a car, right? And to go from that lack of bracing the core to then jumping back and carrying the full weight of the center of our body with a strong, perfectly executed brace around the core. So I would instead invite you to save the jumping back for sun salutation B's, and we'll look at that in the next video.